My dear students, in this video, we will understand recursion. Recursion is a powerful programming concept. Recursion is the name given to the property of a function to call itself. A function will call itself within its body. Recursive functions can also be called as self-calling functions because the functions are called within the body of the same functions. Therefore, recursive functions can also be called as self-calling functions. There must be one terminating condition within the body of the recursive function, otherwise it will enter an infinite loop. We will take an example also for that. Recursion is inefficient in terms of memory utilization and execution speed, meaning that is it takes more memory and it takes more time, that is it is slow also. Recursive functions are easier to implement. Important again, recursive functions are easier to implement, particularly if the algorithm being handled is inherently recursive in nature. Example 1, let's take one example. The name of the function is zzz. It returns void, no parameters. So print good morning, and again it will call the same function zzz. So inside the body of zzz function, again the zzz function is called. Therefore it is self-calling function, recursive function. Yes. Main program, it just calls zzz. That's all. Now let us see how this zzz function works. First, call zzz. What it will do? It will print good morning. Again it will call zzz. Now this zzz, what it will do? It will print good morning. Again it will call zzz. This zzz, what it will do? Again it will print good morning. Again it will print zzz. This zzz, what it will do? It will again print good morning. It will again call zzz. This zzz, what it will do? Again it will print good morning. Again it will call zzz. This goes on infinitely. There is no end at all. Meaning we have entered an infinite loop. There is no end at all for this. There is no terminating condition in this recursive function zzz, and hence it goes on into an infinite loop. Infinitely it goes on. Okay, this is example number 1. Now let us take another example. Example number 2. Why the same function zzz, but there is a parameter here, int n. So now if n is not equal to 0, carefully understand the condition. We are having a condition here. If n is not equal to 0, call print good morning and call zzz of n minus 1. Zzz of n minus 1. Okay. Now the main program, it will call zzz of 4. Simply some parameter 4. Okay. Let us see how this zzz function works. Zzz of 4, what it will do? First check n is equal to 0 or not equal to 0. Yes, n is not equal to 0. Therefore, it will print good morning and call zzz of 3 because n minus 1, 4 minus 1 is 3. Zzz of 3. Now, zzz of 3, what it will do? First, you have to check whether n is equal to 0 or not equal to 0. N is not equal to 0 because 3 is there. Now, zzz of 3 will print good morning and again it will call zzz of 2 because 3 minus 1 is 2. Now, zzz of 2, what we have to do? First check whether n is equal to 0 or not equal to 0. Zzz of 2, n is not equal to 0. Therefore, zzz of 2 will print good morning. And again it will call zzz of 1 because 2 minus 1 is 1. Now, in zzz of 1, first check whether n is equal to 0 or not equal to 0. N is not equal to 0. Yes. Zzz of 1, again it will call good morning. It will call zzz of 0 because 1 minus 1 is 0. Now, zzz of 0, you check n is equal to 0 or n is not equal to 0. In zzz of 0, n is equal to 0. And when n is equal to 0, you should not continue, you should stop. Because when will you print good morning and call zzz of n minus 1? When n is not equal to 0, you are calling. But n is equal to 0, you don't call recursive, the recursive call ends. There ends the recursion. Since n becomes 0, the recursion is terminated and n is equal to 0 is the terminating condition. So recursion is terminated. So we have considered 2 examples. One example where recursion does not end at all. It goes to an infinite loop, goes on infinitely. Example number 2, there is a terminating condition. Okay, terminating condition and the recursion terminates. So 2 examples we have taken here. Now let us make a comparison between recursion and iteration. First point for recursion, it is the name given to the technique of defining something in terms of itself. Very important. Iteration, it is the process of executing a set of statements repeatedly until some specified condition is satisfied. Okay. Second point, recursion. Here we have computation within recursion and a terminating condition also. There is computation and there is a terminating condition in recursion. Whereas iteration, here we have initialization, computation and updation. Yes. Third point, recursion. It is inefficient in terms of memory utilization and execution speed. That is, it takes more memory and also it takes more time. That is, it is slow. Iteration, it is more efficient in terms of memory utilization and execution speed. That is, it takes less memory and it is fast also. Last point for recursion, in C, it is defined as a function which calls itself. Just now we understood the example of ZZZ, where ZZZ function was called within the body of ZZZ. So in C, it is defined as a function which calls itself. Whereas iteration in C, you have for loop, you have while loop, you have do while loops. They are used for iteration. So this is a comparison between recursion and iteration. I think recursion is quite simple, quite easy. Okay, but only thing is make sure that there is some terminating condition for the recursion. Otherwise, it enters in infinite loop. Quite simple, quite straightforward, and you should enjoy all the recursive functions. They are very small and very cute and simple also to understand.